When you hear the name John Wick, certain things just come right to your mind. You can't help but think of certain things. And you know what? It's a great thing. What you think of is a man of purpose, a man who loves his wife, a man who loves his dog, a man whose gun fu, well, how can we say? It's just well, it's just off the hook. John Wick kills red shirts like nobody else. And the fact is, we love him for it. Be honest, you love to watch John Wick.
No.
I mean, hell.
Surely.
We
No,
all
you cannot
love
eat my
our
dog.
dogs. And we all love that John Wick loves his dogs. We love that the people in John Wick love their dogs. And you know what's going to happen now. You know what's going to be next. Because there's one thing you don't do around John Wick. You don't take his car, and you don't mess with anyone's dog. So, why am I mentioning all that? All the things you already know? Because I saw tonight, it came out earlier, but I saw it tonight, that the new trailer for John Wick 4 just came out. And I had to make a comment. I went right out to Twitter and I said, more Wick is good. This is what Hollywood is supposed to make you feel excited to see. And you know what? I even got a bigger surprise than I could have imagined. More than just seeing the video come out, I got a response. John Wick reached out to me and he said, "Your fealty has been accepted. More to come." To which I had to say, well, spasiba. Never expected a response. I cheered when I saw the response. I suppose few can say that when we know John Wick is on the way, that you can be happy. And especially when he's not retired. I have served. I will be of service. So how could I be of service to John Wick? What can I do for John Wick? Well, I decided, let's go through the trailer together. Let's take a deep dive because John Wick had the perfect timing once again. It's just before Veterans Day, and we need something to make us celebrate, something to really rally people, get their juices going. It's something that the nation wants. Guns. They want action. They want a hero or an anti-hero that you can get behind. Somebody that loves dogs. What's more American than that? Well, let's take a look at the John Wick 4 trailer.
Saying goodbyes?
Saying hello.
You think your wife can hear you?
Now, you know what I love about this? And I'm going to stop this a couple times, but you know what I love about this? Kane. as in Cain and Abel. It's very interesting. The symbology that's all throughout all of the Wick trailers is fantastic.
No.
And why bother?
Maybe I'm wrong.
The man loves his wife. Gotta love it. That's fantastic. And just like Highlander, it's in a church. You can't disrespect the church, a real church. Not like in the first movie where the church was just a front for the Russian mafia. No, a real church, real reverence. Gotta love that. And the respect Donnie Yen's character, Cain, is giving to him in this moment, it says something about the fact that John Wick is that enigmatic. And obviously, they know each other. In fact, I think they know each other pretty well. So let's see what else they have to say to each other.
You're going to die.
Well, that's pretty. That's substantial. That makes a point. And instantly you're going, I want to see these guys fight.
Maybe not.
Especially when John Wick says, I'm not going to die. He's not ready to die. After everything we have seen him go through in 3 movies, the man still not ready to die.
Goodbye to you, my trusted friend.
Trust me, that music, perfect. What a wonderful rendition of this song. It is unique, but it fits the tone of what we have come to expect from a John Wick film. I love it. This trailer is put together so well. And the lighting and the way that you get that emotion. And remember, red is for John. Red is John Wick's color. He is in his element at this moment. This is a throwback to the first film, which most people wouldn't notice. And it's funny because all of this is from a film that was a sleeper hit. But red is John Wick's color. He is in his element at this moment. I'm sorry for anyone else that's going to be coming up against him at this moment.
A new day is dawning. New idea.
Okay, are they coming after the hotel? Are they coming after the Continental? No. But you know what? Somebody who is in blue. This is not John Wick's color. This is the color of the bad guys, the guys that are coming for John Wick, and they are taking it serious. They've seen what he has done. The high table knows it's all on the table. They need to do something big. Now, who is that bad guy in the background? The new management taking over a Continental somewhere in the world, probably in France. But let's go on.
Is the woo.
This is international. And this is John Wick, apparently in Japan. And somebody's not having a good day. Somebody owes John Wick a marker, and that marker's getting called in. I don't think they're very happy about it, but it's going to happen, which makes you think maybe the Continental is in Japan, not in France. And again, John Wick is in his element. He is the one in control. That is the red. Now, I don't know what the kanji mean in the background. If someone who's watching this knows that, please translate that for me. I would love to see that in the comments. But what I can say is John Wick is in his element. It is the red light. He is in control, which means it is a marker that somebody owes him, and they're not going to be happy about it. Again, I hope to find out what that kanji means because it's probably a message from the filmmakers to the audience, and we just don't know the joke. But I'm looking forward to finding out.
Who's new management?
We have a new bad guy. Did you see that? Let's go back real quick for a second. We have a new bad guy. And once again, I think this is talking about a Continental that he wants to take over. Here is the big man that we saw in the earlier scene, his right-hand man. Now, is he going to be like Common? Is he going to be a bad guy like that? I think so. I think he's somebody who's right up there with John Wick when John is almost at his best. And he's going to be one of the big bads. Who's he going to fight, though? Is he going to fight John Wick or one of John Wick's allies? It'll be interesting to find out.
We've known each other since we were 9 or 10.
Did John Wick kill that man's daughter? Good question to ask.
Who is this?
The Marquis de Gramont.
Challenge him to.
So he's got power. He's on the high table. It is an important guy. And he looks like he can fight. Unlike what we saw in John Wick 2, this man looks like he can do his own dirty work, that he can hold his own in a fight. But is he up to the level of John Wick? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to play by the rules. I don't think this is going to be fair.
Single combat. Win or lose, it's a way out.
I don't sit at the table.
Your family does.
John Wick's family. John Wick is part of the high table. Well, maybe that's why he's gotten so much deference from the high table, why they gave him so many chances. Makes sense in the universe. It also makes sense why he would be trained so well, why he was one of the top assassins in that universe. Yeah, John Wick is the high table. Matter of fact, he might be able to sit above the high table. Remember, there's only one person who's above the high table, and maybe John Wick will be coming after him once he gets to the table. That would be interesting to see. But what is John Wick's family? The lore and the world is expanding. We're learning so much more. And Winston knows. Who is Winston? How does Winston know these things? I really would love to see the past of Winston when they do the TV series The Continental, to dive into the past and to see how much of a badass Winston was. I want to see that. I want to know what he did in his life, how he got through the rank and file to be able to be the man in New York, one of the top people to be feared.
Please pray for me. I was a black sheep.
Gee, you think that's maybe a sister? A long lost sister? The whole high table knows this, and nobody told John. What happened? How did this come about?
Of the family.
Man has to look his best when it's time to get married. Or
The Bowery King is back. Yes, and he is always prepared. The man knows what you need. He knows. He hears everything, sees everything, because no one sneaks up on the Bowery King. And he's back, and he's helping John again because he's in this as much as John is in this. That's great to see. What else will he do for John?
we're buried.
I'm going to need a gun.
Goodbye, my friend.
He's gonna give him a gun. I think he'll get more than 7 bullets this time.
It's hard to die.
The man loves to drive and shoot at the same time. Who is being silly enough to come up after John Wick when he's driving in a car? The man is phenomenal. Can't keep doors though. You ever notice he keeps losing doors? He just doesn't care about a driver's side door. Just doesn't care about them. He loses them every other day. God, he's keeping Aurelio busy, and maybe Aurelio is going to come back in this movie to talk to us about John Wick's car and this car as well, it appears. It is the 4 horsemen coming. The apocalypse is on the way. It's the 4 horsemen of apocalypse. Let me get it right. Coming at dawn. Or maybe it's dusk. I think it's dawn. And they're coming for John, it would seem. They came for John, and John drove them away. In fact, it was the three horsemen running from John. He's chasing them down in the desert. Well, what does that make us think? John is after the one above the high table. He's going for a conversation they don't want to have, and they are running in fear because John Wick is on the move.
If you win,
I told you the Continental's in Paris. I told you that there is a Continental in Paris, and this is where the Marquis is, in Paris, and that's where John Wick's family comes from. But who is in charge of the Continental right now? Who has the Continental in Paris? I'd love to know. This is beautiful, and I know where this location is in Paris. I've been to Paris once, so I recognize it. It's really incredible. Beautiful view. Got to go on.
the table will honor its word.
Don't you love that? So we've got the Continental on one side, and we've got the Continental Paris on the other. We've got John Wick on one side, and we've got Donnie Yen on the other. Oh, this is great. The Marquis men, and then we've got John Wick's people. And you have to wonder to yourself, what is going to happen here? This is all about power. This is about who is the ultimate power. It's a puppy. We love the puppies. And it seems to be the black man's puppy. You know John's not going to kill the puppy. But whoever does kill the puppy, they're going to die badly. That's the one thing we can be sure of in John Wick. You don't piss off someone's puppy and live. They're going to die bad. Now, I want to go back to that real quick. I haven't gone back on any of the other scenes before, but I want to go back on that one because who do we see at this table? That's John Wick. That's Donnie Yen. And there's some guys running on up because somebody did something stupid. Now, it looks like they were playing poker and somebody cheated at the poker table. Somebody decided that while these men were having a conversation, he was going to be stupid and maybe try to shoot John Wick. I think this was a conversation that was going on to negotiate for the meeting in Paris, for negotiating the challenge for John Wick. And this fool decided to go onto that neutral ground, and he decided to try and take out John Wick on his own, make his name. And of course, the black guy's dog came up and said, nope, that's not going to happen. And these guys in the background are just coming in to see what the commotion is about. But otherwise, nobody's going to be making a move. That's what I think happened here. I could be wrong.
We'll have your freedom.
What says the black guy is Moroccan? I think he's Moroccan. But look who we have here. Of course, we have Clancy Brown. God, brings me back to the Highlander again. Clancy Brown, neutral ground. He is the arbiter. I love it. Clancy is looking so good, and he's got his beard. He looks great. He looks wise. He looks like someone that you would expect to be in charge of this kind of situation.
The old laws, only one can survive.
The old ways, straight out of Highlander. What a great pick. Clancy Brown, Highlander, the old ways. Let's go on.
Failure to meet at sunrise.
Now, do you think that this is happening the night before the challenge? The Marquis is sending all of his men out to try and kill John Wick or to stop John Wick from being able to show up at sunrise. That they are trying to, their big job, they're not expected to kill John Wick. They're expected to stop John Wick from showing up on time. And if he doesn't show up on time, he's going to die. We know what the rules are. But John Wick, just like this line right here, it's hard to die. He is hard to kill. They can't stop him. He is going to mow through bodies, the biggest body count in any of the movies. I am absolutely sure John Wick's going to have it here.
or result in execution.
Last words, Winston?
What could Winston say to John Wick at this moment? What would you say to John Wick as he's about to go through Paris and he is going to leave bodies left and right, that they're trying to stop him and he's about to have the challenge that sets the high table on fire? What would you say? What could you say? Winston says the one thing, the only thing that could be said.
Just have fun, Albert.
Time is ticking and they are laughing. The Bowery King is laughing. And Winston is happy, having fun. And what does fun mean in John Wick's world? But now it's time for something that we love, the audience love, that Hollywood forgot. This is the moment we get to see some fun just for us. And that is... there is no way back. The violence is here. The action is here. John is in motion. There's one way out. Only one way to take the high table, to kill them all.
I want you to find your...
Just before time runs out, with Winston watching every moment, always aware, ready for what's going to happen next.
peace. But a good death only comes after a good life.
The markers are being called in. Everyone is on deck. The fighting is going to be everywhere. And there will be one victor.
You and I left a good life behind a long time ago, my friend.
We're going to be in for a treat. March cannot come fast enough. March 24th of 2023. We want to see this movie. I want to see this movie. There's a reason why I responded and they got back to me. There's a reason why I say, I have served. I will be of service. I will be at this movie. I will see this when it comes out in theaters. And it's probably one of the only films that I will see in 2023 because this is why we go to movies. This is what we go to watch. It's a trailer that makes me want to see this. It's a movie I want to see. It's a franchise that hasn't gone woke. It isn't broke, and I'm glad. God, give us more of these movies. You saw the trailer. You saw me talk about it. You're going to go see the movie. I'm going to go see the movie. I told you what I think about this trailer, what it means to the whole lore of John Wick. I want to hear what you think about it. Tell me in the comments. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. I look forward to seeing you with me online, going to watch John Wick, March 24th of 2023.